Hello my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review The Whale, directed by Darren Aronofsky and starring Brendan Fraser, Sadie Sink and Simpkins. And the plot of this movie is as follows. A reclusive, morbidly obese English teacher attempts to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. So, The Whale. This movie has been surrounded by a huge amount of Oscar buzz, and I can absolutely see why. I mean, it's nominated for 3 Oscars, for goodness sake. And it basically sees the beginning of the Renaissance, as many people have described. Brendan Fraser has kind of been off the radar for quite some time. Most of you will probably know Brendan Fraser from those mummy films that were made like in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then the third one was in like 2008 or something. And he was also in films like George of the Jungle. He's been in a few things. But this is really his first big sort of movie in quite some time. So, honestly, what do I think of The Whale? I loved it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a powerful drama, and it's quite simply breathtaking. The performance that Brendan Fraser gives, it's probably the best performance he has ever given. It is very good. It's a very immersive performance as well. I feel like the emotion of the character you can really wrap into, and the backstory as to why he's gained so much weight and why he's so estranged from his family. It doesn't seem like there's much there, but I think it's more about the aftermath. It's more about how it has affected him now, and I think that's powerful. The backstory is just context. What he's feeling right now is what we really delve into. Just seeing the isolation of him is really quite tragic. It's sad to see him so physically out of shape and struggling so much. He's close to death, basically. He's on his deathbed, and he's trying to sort of basically get to his death. And in reconnecting with his daughter, he realizes that he can do right and save her from ruining her life, as she saved somebody else from ruining their life. So the story really is about being selfless in a lot of respects. You know, realizing that not everything is dark and bleak, and there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And the whole parallel with the Moby Dick story, hence why it's called The Whale. I thought it was quite interesting how he would often refer to his essays that his class wrote. He hides himself away from his online class because he doesn't want to, share his sadness with anyone. That's why he's such a recluse. He doesn't want to go out, and he doesn't want to do anything with anyone else and share his sadness. So I think, that's quite a simple arc. I think it's very effective because you buy into the emotion of the character. And I like the fact that the character is multifaceted. Brendan Fraser's character, he's not benevolent. He's made a lot of mistakes in the past. But what makes him compelling is that he's shown a lot of remorse, and he wants to change, and he wants to help his daughter reconnect with him. And speaking of the other performances, as well, we've talked about Brendan Fraser. Sadie Sink plays Ellie, his daughter. She's quite a difficult character to watch at first because she's so bitter, she's so angry, and she's at times very cutthroat. Her sort of tone with him is very, she doesn't want to know him, and it becomes hard to watch a lot of that. She's just swearing at him, insulting him, and berating him for being a useless father when he's trying to show remorse and he's trying to change his ways. In the end, I think she does grow to care about him, and there's that conflict as the film goes on, is like, will she end up caring about her dad again, and will she forgive him? Because that's really what the whole thing is about, really, is Charlie, the protagonist. He wants forgiveness. He wants to go knowing that he has been forgiven and that he can provide for his daughter. I really liked the other cast members. We've got Simpkins, who plays Thomas, who's the missionary character, and he's trying to install a sense of faith and hope into Charlie, and there is that kind of religious commentary as well. There's that whole theme of forgiveness because Thomas was disowned by his family, and he wants to go and reconnect with them, and Ellie helps him do that, and that's where the whole story ties in. But I liked him. I thought he was a good character, and he was very willing to help Charlie, even if Charlie was not willing to help himself in that regard. But I liked the drama with with him. He was a good character. Also got Hong Chau as Liz, who is the carer. I think she's very good. And she's at a bit of a moral dilemma as well, because she really cares for Charlie. But he won't listen to her. He's very stubborn. But she's very good. I like her performance. Samantha Morton as Mary, the ex-wife. She only appears very briefly, but the scene where they well, I guess have it out and also reconnect is interesting as well. But seeing the decline of Charlie, this really overweight man, how he has to use a Zimmer frame to walk, how he's just eating himself into the ground, making himself sick, binging constantly, living a very unhealthy life, trying to do his job. He likes his job, but he doesn't want to show his face on the camera. And yeah, you'll see as the film goes on the journey of Charlie and how he gradually has to find a way to overcome his insecurities. Whilst I thought the story was about him trying to, lose weight and overcome that, it's really not. It's really about him trying to make peace. It's a tragic story about someone going to their death trying to make peace and earn forgiveness. It's a story about forgiveness, and I think that is the fundamental heart of the film. Also, while I'm here, I want to give a shout out to Nick Payne, who I saw the film with. So Nick, thank you for coming to see it with me. While the film is quite slow, the pace of it is slow, it's so immersive for me. It just wrapped me in, and it's set in one apartment, and the lighting and cinematography, while it's quite plain, I won't lie, the look of the film is quite bleak and plain. There's not much colour, there's not much light, but it's that type of film where it does kind of work, especially for the mood and the emotion. But I would have perhaps liked to see a few more colours in the lighting. It's a very grey colour palette, and we don't see much light until the very end of the film. And the ending is pretty heartbreaking, it's pretty emotional. I won't say what happens, but I will say that, yeah, it's a good and fitting resolution for Charlie, the protagonist, and also Ellie, his daughter. I think Darren Aronofsky's direction is great, and the music is good. And it's quite a heavy film in some respects, and it's quite hard to watch. And Brendan Fraser made it feel so real. I'd almost, in a way, forgotten he was the guy that made The Mummy. It's so unlike anything he's ever done before. It's fantastic. It really is fantastic. And it's a film that I would love to watch again. I just think it's a wonderful piece of cinema. It just goes to show you don't need a massive set piece to tell a great story. This is a fundamentally solid story with a great dramatic heart. And it would be so easy for the film to go down a happy route for the resolution. But they may or may not do that. They may do something that's a little unexpected. They may tug on your heartstrings, but do it for the right reasons. I think at the end of the day, an ending, what makes a great ending is how it fits the character. And for me, this ending really fits the character. It may not be the happiest, may not be the saddest, but it fits. Like I said, my only minor niggle would be I would like some of the lighting to be slightly more colourful. Even if the colour palette is grey, it would still be quite nice to have a bit of a range of colours. It does feel very monochrome grey. It's not hugely expansive, so they could have been a little bit more imaginative with that. But aside from that, this is a really, really good film. So I'm going to rate The Whale a 10 out of 10. This is without question my favourite movie of the year so far, and please give Brendan Fraser the Oscar. Please give him the Oscar. So that's my review of The Whale. What do you think of this film? Please comment down below, let me know, and stay tuned next time when I review Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish. So until then, I'm Pajak's Perspective. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye for now.